Yep, I'm back. Sorry. So yes, what is crowdsourcing open call? Can you hear me and see my screen clearly? Sorry. Am I audible? And can you see my screen? Okay, thanks, Abdul Basit. Yeah, so crowdsourcing is having
Yes, we can hear you.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, but it's breaking.
Is this a break-in? Okay, great. So crowdsourcing is having a group of people
Yeah, you can go ahead.
contribute ideas to solve either all or part of a problem, and then sharing the selected solutions with the public, right? And our team have used crowdsourcing to do many things really. We've used it to develop frameworks on practical guides, consensus statements in HIV, in hepatitis, during COVID, and much more. And it's a way really to basically leverage public creativity to either contribute ideas to solve a problem or to solve part of a problem. And one way we've done to share the solutions is to put these ideas together into like a practical guide or like a framework that can be used over and over again across different contexts. And so basically, crowdsourcing has 6 stages, and we also have like a guide on crowdsourcing, which you can download online. Just search crowdsourcing in health and health research. You'll see a very pretty guide that you can use in your own work to also replicate what crowdsourcing is. So basically, we select the crowdsourcing open call. We organize a steering committee, which is basically a committee that would provide guidance along the process. Then we engage the community to contribute. We'll evaluate the contributions, recognize finalists, and lastly, we will share solutions and implement. And currently, the solutions or the crowdsourcing that we've chose, the program that we've chose is along youth co-creation. We've done stage 2, and currently we are engaging the community such as yourself to contribute to the challenge question that we're talking about very, very soon. Then after we receive the submissions, we will then evaluate them, we will choose finalists, and then we would put all those stuff together into a practical guide and share them back to the public. So that's roughly how crowdsourcing works. And the importance is that one, it's a bottoms-up approach. So it really allows us to really engage the community at a granular level, but it also gives us an obligation to share back our research, our findings to the public that created the idea, which is everyone on this call and other people that would also submit their ideas. It also allows us to network a lot. It allows us to tap into existing social networks, whether online or in person, and it really saves costs, right? So crowdsourcing has been really proven to do all of these things in order to improve health or to contribute to health research. So now to talk more about specifically on youth co-creation, the open call details itself. So basically co-creation, what it means, co-creation could also mean many things, right? We call it co-design, we call it co-production, but really co-creation is kind of more common. And we define it as an iterative bi-directional approach between researchers or stakeholders and the community to either create knowledge, to foster public engagement in medical research, and it has helped to design health services and involves community of interest, in this case, young people or youth, throughout the entire process. And for the purpose of this open call, we define youth as persons between the ages of 15 and 24 years old. But co-creation really helps, it considers power dynamics. It doesn't allow only the stakeholders to do, all the heavy lifting, but young people could also be engaged at every stage of the process. So we think a compilation of good practices, of principles, strategies, case studies on use. Yeah, so we think that a compilation of principles, good practices, case studies, or strategies on youth co-creation would be very, very useful in improving health of youth populations and allowing folks or stakeholders along the globe to do the same and replicate, what are the best practices in engaging young people in health programs or health research. So the challenge question for this open call really is that how can we best design, how can we best execute, how can we best evaluate successful youth-focused co-creation health programs or research projects? So that's like the main prompt for the submissions. Therefore, what this means is that your ideas or your contributions could be on the design aspects, the development aspects, how can we best develop youth co-creation health programs, or you could talk about the execution, or you could talk about the evaluation, or you could combine it, right? And really, we are looking for past experiences, because this is a collection of good practices. So we really want, if you've participated in a previous youth co-creation activity, or if you've led one, or if you've organized one, or if you were invited to one, or even if you've participated in one, right? Tell us about the program, what was the context, what were the strategies that was used to engage young people, and what are some of the lessons learned, what are some of the challenges, and so on. So basically, the main prompt for this open call or the challenge question is that how can we best design, execute, or evaluate successful youth-focused co-creation health programs or research projects? So basically, we are calling on you, individuals, institutions, or both, to share their experiences. And we also invite young people specifically to share their insights from co-creation activities that they've participated in, right? Because I know there are so many programs focused on youth that has happened in the past decade. If you're in Nigeria, you may be familiar with the For Youth by Youth program. If you are in, globally, you may be familiar with what's it called? With youth advisory boards across European Union, across the World Bank, across UNICEF. All of these are examples of youth co-creation, or even events like hackathons, right? Designathons, design sprints. All of these are a form of youth co-creation. So the overall purpose of this project, or why we are doing this open call, is to develop a guide, a practical guide that would be in collaboration with the Social Innovation in Health Initiative and also the WHO TDR, titled Youth Co-Creation, a Community Engaged Practical Guide. So we want this guide to provide practical strategies for engaging youth in researching, in designing, in implementing and evaluating programs that enhance health and well-being overall, right? So that's like a brief background about co-creation, about youth co-creation, and why we are doing this project. So that being said, what is the eligibility criteria? What determines if you are fit to submit an idea? Can you still hear me? I see some comments in the chat says you can't hear me anymore. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Okay, great. So
Yes, we can hear you.
all right, thank you. So what's the eligibility criteria? So firstly, your submission must contain a response to the challenge question. That's basically the first thing. If your submission does not directly address the challenge question that I talked about earlier, then you may be ineligible for this open call. That is, your submission must directly talk about, let me go back to the challenge question. This is the challenge question. How can we best design, execute, or evaluate successful youth-focused co-creation health programs or health research? So that's the first eligibility criteria. Then secondly, in terms of age, as long as you're at least 10 years old, you're eligible to participate. But because of parental consent in some various countries, if you are between ages of 10 to 14, we encourage that you submit not as an individual, but as a part of a group, and your other team members should be 15 years or older. Basically, anyone who has participated or organized a youth co-creation activity is able to submit, and really we encourage submissions that reflect your experiences or your lessons learned from past youth co-creation activities. Again, because this is a collection of good practices, not just a collection of ideas. So we want to learn from your previous experiences, from your lessons, from what you've done in the past. But that being said, even if you have just an idea, you are still eligible to submit, as long as you are able to add appropriate references to your ideas, or you are able to source whatever you're talking about. Again, we strongly discourage the use of artificial intelligence in your submission. Yep, I'm back again. The internet is really bad. Yeah, so I was saying that we in terms of eligibility, let me go over the eligibility criteria again. So firstly, your submission must contain a response to the challenge question I've talked about. Secondly, for you to be eligible, you must be at least 10 years. But for parental consent issues in different countries, if you are between the ages of 10 to 14, ensure that you submit as a group, not as an individual, such that your other team members must be at least 15 years or older. But you can submit individually if you are above 15 years. Anyone at all from any part of the world who has participated or organized the co-creation activity is eligible. We are really encourage submissions that reflect your experiences. Again, remember that I said that this is a collection of good practices and not just a collection of ideas. And so we are really looking for your previous experiences or your past youth co-creation events. Then if what you have is just an idea, right? You have just some insights, you are still eligible to participate, to submit, provided that you are able to provide appropriate references to your ideas to ensure it is evidence-based. And again, we discourage the use of artificial intelligence to generate a submission because we would really be looking out for that. You may submit as an individual or as a group of 4 individuals, and submissions are accepted in any of the 6 UN official languages. So if you wish to submit in French, in Chinese, please feel free to do that. If you have any questions so far, please drop it in the chat, or you can wait till the end as well. Anyone is fine, really. So how to submit? So there are 2 submission methods. You can either submit through the online form, or you can do the email submissions. So for the online form, if you go to the website, I think they've shared the website link, but feel free again to help me reshare it, Corriday or Gifty. You can reshare the website link where you would see a submission form or an online form where you would answer some questions, and then you would submit like a 1-pager of that describes your innovation or your idea. And again, you can link images or audio or videos as hyperlinks, but they have to be linked. They must not exceed that 1 page, or you must not submit additional text files. You're supposed to submit only a 1 A4 page document. Second way of submitting is to download the offline submission form on the website. It's also on the website as well. Then you fill the submission offline and send it directly via email to this email account. For your written text, maximum of 500 words. For your audio or video submission, maximum of 3 minutes. But again, if you're submitting a text and you want to add like a diagram or an infographic or something, you can add it as an hyperlink to your text, and we'll still be able to view them as well. Judging criteria. So you'll be judged, each eligible submissions will be judged by 3 independent judges, and then we'll find the average and also the standard deviation to ensure fairness on a 1 to 10 scale across these 5 criteria. 1 is the relevance to the open call. Does the submission align with the objective of this call, or how well does it align with it? How clear and how concise the description? How is your submission adaptable? How is it flexible? How is it responsive in guiding future youth co-creation events? What is the practicality and realism of your youth co-creation strategies? Are your recommendations feasible in diverse settings, and can it be replicated across different contexts? And again, lastly, the submission ensure equity. Does it ensure inclusivity among all youth with varying level of internet or literacy and access, right? So you'll be evaluated across the judging criteria. And like a pro tip is that always have this in mind when you're preparing your submission, because ultimately you'll be judged or you'll be evaluated based on this criteria. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I really, really apologize. So again, these are the 5 judging criteria. Ultimately, whatever your submission is, ensure that you have this at the back of your mind, because ultimately you'll be evaluated by this criteria only, right? As long as your submission is eligible, it will go through this process, and 3 judges will be evaluating each submission, will find the average, and then you'll be ranked based on the highest scores in total.
Co-creation. We'll go ahead and put that in the chat box and we'll start discussing that. And
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Gifty? Can you hear me now?
yes, Yusuf, welcome back.
I'm sorry, I've had to change my location like four or five times already. What did you hear me say last? Was I still on the criteria when I looked up?
On the you were on the judging.
Okay. Um, I think maybe I should email Gifty. I can send you the slide. So for the next time I go off, you can maybe just go on. Is that fine?
Person who would be receiving like the communication on results. Does that make sense? So, for example, if you're a team of 5 people, on the submission form, there is a part that allows whoever is doing the online submission to list all the team members and their email addresses so that when we send out updates, everyone can get informed. But you would need one person to be the corresponding lead for the team. Yes, Hamza, your contributions, all the contributions that come in that meets the eligibility criteria, that also meets the judging rubrics, would be used to create or develop the guideline that we'll be using in future. So your contributions are really, really going to be important for standardizing co-creation with youth as a whole process. You're very welcome, Essence. Hamza, do you have any other questions? Do you need any other clarifications? Okay, it seems Yusuf is back, so let's have him finish and then we can continue the questions afterwards. Thank you. Yusuf, over to you.
Thanks, Gifty. And I just shared you the slide, Gifty, just in case I log off again. You can just go ahead. Yeah, Corey, just now have the slide. Yeah, so I was talking about the judging criteria, and I said you'll be evaluated based on these five criteria.
Got it.
Yeah, and basically you'll be scored on a scale of 1 to 10 on each criteria, and you'll be evaluated by 3 independent judges. The average will be kind of gotten, and then you will be ranked based on the highest scored submissions. The first one is on relevance to the call, how well your submission aligns with the objective of the call, how clearly you are able to describe your submission is also very important, how well your ideas demonstrate flexibility and responsiveness in guiding future activities, what is the realism of your strategies, and your submission be replicated in many contexts, and also does the submission ensure inclusivity among all youth with varying level of literacy and access. So I was saying that keep all of this in mind when you're submitting, because ultimately it will come down to this, right? So that's like probably the best advice I can give anybody is that have this at the back of your mind when you're submitting and ensure that you are able to tick all the boxes before you make your final submission. Right. So this is what the timeline looks like for the open call. We launched the open call on the 2nd of December, and it's going to be on until the 10th of January. That is for more than a month. We are having the webinar today on the 16th, and we would evaluate the submission between February and March. And at the end of March, all finalists to be notified. And in July, we will support 4 or more finalists. I think it should be about 4 to join the in-person co-creation workshop in Montreal, Canada. It is like a 4-hour workshop that we've been given to do, and so we would support 4 finalists to attend that event. And lastly, we are looking at having the final guide ready by August 2025. Of course, after we've taken it through the process with the WHO, with UNICEF, with Search Global and CI as well. So these are our partners. And yeah, I can now open the floor for Q&A. I apologize for the internet issues. It was so beyond me. But let me know if you want me to go over any part again, or you could just ask your question by either raising up your hand or typing it in the chat. Yeah. Thank you so much. Feel free to now ask your questions, or if you want me to go over any part again, I'm happy to do so as well. Great. I think Gifty have answered previous questions. Are there anyone left? Just in case.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, John.
Sorry, I joined late. I just wanted to ask if the recording of the meeting will be released.
Yeah, yes, it
or
will
where
be.
it will be released.
It will be on the website, the same website for submission after we are done with this webinar. Yeah.
Okay. Please can you send the link to the website? I don't have the link.
Sure. Could you let me share that screen then? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Are there other questions? Yes, Abdulbasit Hamza.
Yes, good afternoon. So I have a question on the chat box. Please,
in the chat, must it be a research work on innovation? Has that been answered already? Or just the last question?
Yeah, it's the last question.
Okay. For participants who have original and getting innovation, are there any measures in place to ensure propriety of the innovation? Also, what other benefits do they get, like training and other things? Thanks, Abdulbasit. Great question. Yes, you would receive appropriate recognition in the guideline, and if you are a finalist or if you are one of the top scoring submissions, you would be invited to join the working group that would work with all the partners that I listed to develop the final guide. Your submission will be included there as like a case study or something like that would be in the guide with appropriate recognition. Yeah, basically that's about it. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much. Please, can I see the partners once again? I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, the partners. The WHO TDR is like the special program for research in tropical medicine at the WHO. Social Innovation Health Initiative is a network of social innovators across the globe that does amazing work in research, innovation, and implementation science. Search Global stands for the Social Entrepreneurship for Health Initiative, and we've been working across various crowdsourcing open calls. We've organized about 500 open calls across different contexts. We've developed and supported different guides in the past, along with the same partners, and of course, we UNICEF are. Yeah, for training, yeah, really, we do a lot of annual training at both CI and SESH, just like Gifty has said. For instance, annually we have something called a grant-a-thon by CI, where we train researchers and upcoming researchers on grant writing. That's one example. We also have, I think this year, like a few months ago, we had a very robust training on social innovation. We had one on crowdsourcing, on pitching, on so many things really. And you know, if you're part of the CI network or Search Global, all of these opportunities are there. And you can even directly request for one if you need. Yeah. Eniola Sampson, yes. So you would be the one to submit as a team, right? You have to create your own teams if you are going for a team submission. You can submit as a 2-man team, a 3-man team, or a 4-man team. They can be your colleagues, they can be your friends, they can really be anybody that you wish. Yeah. So we are not grouping anybody. Yes, Abbasis.
Yes, thank you, sir. So if a team submits now and maybe eventually the team gets to be the finalist for the support for the invitation to the working group, would that be for the team or one of the team members? I just want to know.
Yeah, you guys would nominate that among yourself. You guys would decide what team would we be supporting to Canada for the workshop or to join the working group as well. It could be the team lead, it could be anybody that is available, but that is up to you as a team to decide on who gets to do that. Is that fine? Yes. We would send the slides and the recording to everybody that registered for the webinar. We have your emails, and we would also put the recording on the website as well. Timeline. Yes, the timeline. So this is the timeline. Let me go back it again. So we launched the webinar on the 2nd of December, and it's gonna close on the 10th of January. So you have roughly like how many weeks? A bit more than 3 weeks to make your submission. Evaluation would happen February and March, and by end of March, we would notify all finalists, and also send certificates for those that score more than 8/10, a certificate of commendation, and we'll start working with you on next steps during that period. Yeah, but by end of March, you'll be able to be notified as a finalist. Are there other questions from anyone? Yes, to REST Essence. REST, feel free to unmute and ask your question.
Essence, you can ask your question, please.
In case you are speaking REST, you are muted. Okay. Are there other questions from folks? We still have about 15 more minutes. Yeah, so feel free to drop anything, or if you want to go over any part again, please do let me know. But really, you know, it's a pretty direct. Yes, REST. And go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. My question is I have 2 questions. So regarding the audio or video submission, 3 minutes long. So I just want to be very clear. Is it 3 minutes explaining the idea you have, and can you feature images in the process? And secondly, for the finalists, is there maybe a rough estimate of the number of finalists that would be selected? Because you mentioned 4 finalists would be supported, and I'm saying there is a group of 4 people across like 6 different categories and everything like that. So is there an estimate of how many finalists would be selected? And also for the video submission, is it just a video of you talking about what your idea is? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Rest. Yeah, basically your video submissions or audio submission is basically you saying what you would have put in a text, your idea or your experience sharing or your lesson learned, anything at all you want to submit, everything will be in 3 minutes. If it's a video, you can talk about the specific health challenge or health issue that your use co-creation was done, what were the process used to engage young people, what were the process used to promote your event, what are strategies used, what are some creative strategies used along the way, what are some of your, anything at all you want to put in your submission must not be more than 3 minutes. So it depends on you what format that could be, but really it could be in any format that you wish, as long as it responds directly to the challenge question. For the finalists, right now I can confirm that there will only be 4 finalists right now, but things may still change along the way. And that means if you are in a team, for instance, if let's say team A wins or team A is like the highest scored submission, you would have to nominate one person from your team. That would be one finalist, right? But in total, would have just 4 persons that would be submitted to join the in-person workshop next year, July. Does that answer your question, Rest?
Yes, very clearly. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there other questions or any clarifications? More questions, more questions, more comments. Thank you, Eniola. Eniola says, for people who have not been in any use co-created program, are we to come with ideas that would help in future creations? Yeah, kind of, I would say. So if you don't have any experience in use co-creation, you've not participated in one, you've not organized one, you've not co-led one or anything at all, but you have ideas based on your reading, based on your research, based on your review of the literature. If you have ideas, yeah, your ideas could help inform the practical guide. And again, the practical guide would help in future use co-creation activities. The practical guide would serve like as a template for, how best could we engage young people in future events? How best, what strategies do we need to put in place for a successful youth-focused co-creation event? Yeah, so basically your idea has to be able to do that. Yeah, and the internet is a vast place. Please feel free to check online if what you have is just a rough idea, ensure that you add appropriate references. Again, just because your ideas have not been tested or validated, so we need references to be able to check and validate some of those ideas. And again, we discourage the use of AI at any point in time during the submission process. Does that answer your question, Eniola? Abdul, great question. I would really recommend your individual context, your individual country. So let me just paint a picture here, for instance. If what you participated in or what you've done is an event between youth and researchers in an HIV project in your country, that's fine. That is very, very okay. You don't have to say because the program was in, for instance, Kenya, you feel is not strong enough. That is more than enough. We want localized context. We want to hear experiences from local individuals, and we would now apply that in a global context. So that is our own job, right? So if your idea is based on your community, it doesn't even have to be your country. It could just be your immediate community. It could just be your university, and then please do submit it. and then we would now put all of those stuff together and put it together for a practical guide that would be applicable. Sorry, guys, I got cut off. Did I answer that question, Abdul-Basit?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. I saw another question here. So no, we did not even mention tropical diseases at any point in time on the website. Your ideas could be on any health program or any health area, as long as it is youth focused. Yeah. As long as, yep, this co-creation in any health outcomes, youth are at the center of it, feel free to submit. It really does not matter. Yeah. Yes, and the recording will be shared. Yeah. Samuel says, what are the things this webinar tends to achieve? So this webinar was just to talk more about the co-creation open call that we launched on the 2nd of December, and to also answer your questions. So the website has been shared on the chats several times, but let me see if I can copy it and reshare. So this is the website, and this is the submission link. Feel free to go through it and check if you have questions and clarifications. We still have about 8 minutes. Yes, Abdul-Basit.
Yeah, so sorry, sir. Thank you so much for the
Is it me or you are breaking? I can't hear you, Abdul-Basit. Can you hear Ngiti?
No, he went offline.
Abdul-Basit, we can't hear you. Feel free to drop it in the chat. Molly says, do ideas or innovations have to be specific on any health aspect, e.g. HIV or mental health, or just sharing ideas on overall health? Overall health is like the best way to look at it. But if you have a past experience in a specific health project, then you can like localize it or be that specific. But if you want to give ideas, I think it should be on overall health generally.
Sorry, Yusuf, just to add on to what you've said so far, I think we have said, Yusuf has already highlighted and emphasized that it should be based on your personal experiences or your review. So if you're doing an academic review and it is for across different diseases, it's still okay. And if it is from your personal experience and it is for a particular health outcome like HIV or mental health, that is also okay. There's no restriction on what health topic you can cover. I hope that makes it clearer.
Yes, thanks, Gibson. Abdul-Basit, your hand is still raised. We can't still hear you. Do you want to try again? Okay. Also, before we log off, yeah, Abdul-Basit, can you hear me now?
yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yes. Could you drop your question in the chat?
Did you hear what I said last?
No, we did not.
Okay, can I come again?
Yes, please.
Or I should just type it?
Anyone is fine. Yeah.
Okay, I should come again. So I was saying that from what I understood from the explanation you gave earlier, it's like you are sharing our co-developed solutions that you believe can contribute to develop strategies to mitigate to solve health problems as youth. Is that it?
I didn't hear you
my
clearly.
question,
Could you type
I
it in the
said,
chat? Your background is a bit noisy. Thanks. So just to also kind of, if you would also like to share this across your network, feel free. This is one of our flyers. I'm sure you've seen multiple ones around. Feel free to share them to your colleagues, to your friends. You can invite them to join you as a team. Please feel free to share them across social media as well, as we're looking forward to receiving submissions across different countries. Or if you would like to disseminate it amongst your network and you need the flyers or the social media wording, feel free to feel free to send me an email as well. I'll just drop my email to the chat. Send me an email and I'll send you the materials you can help use to disseminate it across your country as well. Yeah.
Sorry, Yusuf, I think I got Basit Hamza's question.
Okay.
Just to clarify, we are not necessarily asking you to submit the outcome from your co-creation activity, but rather your experience participating in the co-creation process. I hope that clarifies. So maybe you had a co-creation to design a new HIV awareness creation material or a video. Your participation in the process of co-creating that, what lessons did you learn? What was your observations about challenges? How do you think it could have been improved? Those are the kind of submissions we are hoping you could share with us. It's okay to give us a background of what the co-creation process was about. It will be important or very helpful if you can highlight of your experience, your lessons learned, observations from the process itself. Yeah. You're very welcome, Mr. Hamza.
Thanks, Gifty. And let me highlight a part of the website that will be very useful. Can you see my screen? I hope so. Can you see my screen, Gifty? Gifty, can you hear me and can you see my slides? Or anybody?
Sorry, something, I think I misread your question. So once you have submitted your materials, we are not going to give you any editorial feedback. We'll give you feedback based on the outcome of the submission you made. So if you make the submission, just make sure it meets the eligibility criteria, and you need to say just notice there because the chance to edit and resubmit again. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Thanks, Gifty. Can you hear me? And can you see my screen?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So this is a very interesting part of the website that can kind of like guide your submissions. So yeah, you will see that we wrote that there is no required structure for any entry. We're all interested in any of your reflections. So these are some of the examples of ways you can help kind of direct your submission. So you can talk about what methods were used to attract or involve youth participants in your activities, or ways we can use to attract youth participants, what techniques can we use to maintain youth engagement. You can share innovative approaches in youth co-creation, and we've given like examples for each of this. Any obstacles and how you can overcome these challenges, strategies to ensure diverse participation, key ingredients to make the activity a success. Were there any more questions? I think our time is up. Gifty, was there anything else I missed? Or we can end the webinar.
Yes, if you are not too sure of what you are submitting, please make sure you email us. There is an email in the flyer. If you want to clarify something that we've not had time to discuss today, send out an email and we'll get back to you with clarifications. Thank
Great. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Please expect a recording. For those that register for the webinar, we have your email addresses, and it would also be on the website as well. So thank you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Hi, Dr. Kelechi. Long time no see.
I'll be ending the webinar now. Bye, everyone. No worries. Thank you, Dr. Kelechi.
Bye, Yusuf. Thank you so much. Move to
Bye.
Ghana.
You said?
Thank you,
See
Yusuf.
network see trouble. Move to Ghana. Yusuf, I said you should move to Ghana. See network, see trouble for Nigeria. Move to Ghana.
I would consider that.
More jollof rice and better network is waiting for you.
Are you by any chance insulting us?
Holla now.
Honestly, this network dealt with us, but it's well.
Yeah.
And today
It's
the
well.
network was not favorable at all.
At all.
Hi,
At
Kelechi.
all.
I've missed you. How is studies going? Our new doctor in the house, Dr.
Mr. Kelechi, hello, welcome. Congratulations once again.
Dr. Gechuku, when are you coming to China? You've been saying you come. You never have the time.
Okay, let's see how next year goes.
Game.
This
I want to
one that
come
started
too.
last year.
No, next year. I think next year I've already programmed myself. Yes, I should be there next year.
Nice.
Okay.
If
Me,
he
I'm
tells
going
me
to be
about
telling
his
you.
experience in Japan and it's okay by me, I will not make it next year.
You should definitely come. Come, let's have some fun here.
Sure,
Hopefully
I'll give it a
we
try.
can send some help to use this network from here.
Gifty, stop. That's what makes Nigerians unique, Leave our network for us.
I'm just happy that NEPA didn't do like ECG and just vanish out.
Hey,
I'm happy for that.
Gifty are finishing us. So we are many Nigerians here. We are about 3.
Yeah.
Dr. Kelechi
This
is
one is
here too.
intentional violence now. I'm the only Ghanaian in the midst.
You're assuming there was life at all when Yusuf was talking. They might not have been live.
I don't know why today his network was so bad, because usually he never really have any issues when we have meetings.
Right. Today was just one of those days.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? Gifty, Dr. Gitchko. How are you guys doing? It's been a while.
Yes, it's been so
Fine, good.
long.
We're missing you,
We miss you. Yeah, definitely we do miss you.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Miss you. Yeah, I'm good.
How's
I'm good.
the UK weather treating you?
It's as cold, dull as expected.
Can imagine.
But it's good. It's good. Programs. How are you doing?
I'm good. Our temperatures are also dropping gradually here, but it's not cold, so it's a good thing.
And in Nigeria, we have wonderful
nice.
weather.
I know, I'm jealous now. Jealous. You have good summer by this time. You can go to the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to leave my room so I have to go to the office.
Is it the same Nigeria we're talking about? Yeah. Oh, different.
Now, you see, I'm not the one starting the violence, so. Anyway, I have another meeting I have to jump onto now, so I have to run. But good job so far, Yusuf. You've been really wonderful. Sorry we couldn't help. I didn't even know you were working on that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So
So
far, we
next
have
time you just have to back up.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't know. I would have said him earlier to share with me that we can have a backup.
Yeah.
We have 34 submissions so far.
How
For
many?
like whether
Wow.
all of them are come, but
34.
34
Amazing.
submissions.
Nice.
Amazing. That's
34
quite a
submissions.
Nice.
Yes.
My plan is
wow.
is to get to 100. Hopefully we meet that target.
We'll keep sharing it,
Yusuf,
okay? Yusuf,
I'm
please
going
set the flyer again. Let's share it, okay?
yes,
I'll
yes, to
be
do like
jumping up.
another 1 week of promotion.
Yes.
Yes,
Let's do that.
something simple like this one. Then let's do the promotion, please.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say that to everyone.
I'll
All
try
right.
to add you on
the
the what's the name? I'll try to add you on the Qualtrics thingy so that you'll be able to check and follow up
Yeah.
directly as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Bye.
No
Thanks,
worries.
Gifty. Always willing to help.
Yeah.
It's nice working with you guys, so I always enjoy the opportunity. Tk you for having me.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Gifty. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye
Mom.
for now.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, Lily.
Bye, guys.
What's up?
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, definitely.